All right, today is our second posterior chain day with a concentration on back and quads, where quads not posterior chain, right? And upper back not posterior chain, but we're starting off with heavy good mornings. We're going to be doing bent over rows. I can't even remember the name of them right now, but I'll remember later. And just kind of overloading that in the first two movements, and then we'll do some uh, leg press for high rep stuff to destroy the quads. I do a kind of a narrow stance, shallow. I don't go very low on it because I really want to target right here, right above the knee, hit that lower quad because my upper quads get a ton of work on my squat day. So that'll be kind of the three main movements. If the back is feeling up to it, we'll do some sort of pull-up program and possibly some dumbbell rows, abs and biceps. And you know what? The pull-ups we do will probably be our first bicep exercise because I'm only going to do like two. But first, we're going to start with good mornings. I typically do concentric good mornings where I start at the bottom and work my way up. Today, we're going to work up to a heavy single on regular good mornings. This is probably my weakest movement on the whole planet. I've been training the concentric good mornings for a long time, which is it's a more difficult version of this movement. So we're going to see kind of where we're at now. And this is, again, day 4 of the week. I'm very fatigued. And if I can hit a decent number here, which I don't know what a decent number here is for me, I would really, really be enthusiastic about 405. I just don't know if that's going to happen. But if I could hit a 405, then I know that I'm improving, because when I first started these like a year, 2 years ago, I was barely able to do 185 for like 5. I've got a lot of work in. So today we will actually use a belt, just not on this first set. So, same concept as a squat. You're going to stand in that position, but instead of squatting down like this, it's just going to be about pushing the hips backwards while maintaining that straight back. I can feel that everywhere, right? If you're doing it correctly, you're not going to, which is the problem I had before, is that I used to just bend over. And so the bar would start here and I would bend over and I would make like this quarter circle. You want the bar to stay on the same path. So it's not a bar down, it's a hips back. And then if the bar's here and your hips are here, as they go back, that's what happens. The bar should go straight down. Relatively easy, but like I said, this is a bad movement for me. So I'm going to make a small jump to 185. We're going to kind of feel it out, probably make our jumps right there. I'm not just going to add plates on plates because I'm just not very good at this movement. And only 3 reps with 135 isn't really warming anything up. It's more like a shocker, like, hey, get ready, we're about to move some stuff. So a little jump here, and then we'll jump to 225. From here, I don't know when I'm going to need to put a belt on, but my core will tell me when I need to put a belt on. I'll tell you that much. All right. So you can tell, like I said, when I first started these a while ago, my old strength coach, John Mauser, I've said his name a few times, he'd be able to tell you this movement was so bad for me. So bad. to the point, I just didn't really train it the way I should have because I never really thought about it. And now it's a staple in my workouts. Not maxing out, but I do like to keep I vary depending on what block I'm in on keeping them heavy. Like this one's going to be heavy because I need to get an idea of where I'm at because I want to know. But this is what's helped me. I've never been a great deadlifter. A lot of the reps I would do, I'd move the weight, sure, but the form would be terrible. When you have bad form and you're getting into the 600 and the 700 pounds and you're supposed to do it for reps in a strongman competition, you're gonna get injured. It happened to me all the time. Deadlift is the exercise I got injured the most on, and it's because I didn't treat it with the respect it deserved. I didn't train the form. I didn't concentrate on the important aspects of it. I just said, well, I'm just gonna grab it and move it because that's how I do everything else. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. And then John introduced me to concentric good mornings and good mornings in general and just undoing them and how to implement them. And so I went from deadlifting sometimes twice a week thinking I need to deadlift more to get better at it to deadlifting almost basically once a month. Sometimes more depending on the block, but usually once a month, just because I know what my weaknesses are in the lift. I know how to perform the lift now. So like today, I would consider it to be my deadlift day. And that's because the lifts I'm doing are concentrating on all of my weaknesses in the lift. And my biggest weakness by far is this part of the lift. All right, we're going to jump straight into our singles now. I would say 225 is heavy enough to start that journey for me. Humbling, very humbling. Felt off. But that's the way she goes. Like I said, if you think a 405 good morning sounds light for a strength competitor, that's because it is. And I'm over here, fingers crossed, God, I hope I can hit that. That's how bad I am at this lift. It's just like I'm going to need a belt on with this 275. And really just kind of hope for the best here. I can tell you now, just with the way that 225 felt, I have gotten stronger. I know that for a fact. I don't have any videos to show you of what I did in the past. You just have to take my word for it. And that's the big ticket, right? I'm supposed to be stronger every time I go back to a lift, and this is cyclical, so I haven't done a standard good morning in a very long time. And so, okay, I've been training the concentrics. I've been making it more difficult. Let's go back to the lift and see how much improvement I've gotten. And will this be a true max? Maybe, maybe not. I may hit a number where I go, boy, that was really hard. I know I could add 10 pounds, and then that would probably be it. Probably not going to add the 10 pounds. We'll just take the number I'm at, know that it's better than I was, because as soon as I hit this, we're already going to be getting into, oh, this is going really well range. So I have to hit this, and then we're going to be in a good spot. So I don't have to go much higher for me to know that I've gotten stronger, which this movement today is just about waking up the system before we go over. And we do, Pendlay rows. That's what we're doing. Pendlay rows. Those are my favorite kind of rows. Pendlay rows and Woolham rows are my favorite kind of rows. You know what? I think with it being more of a deadlift day, I think we will do Woolham rows instead of Pendlay rows, actually. And I'll show you why when we get to them. It's a fantastic deadlift accessory. So as you can see, based on what you saw in the 225 and the 275, this belt for me is a significant help. And my core, it's because my core is weak. And it's because for the last 6 months I've ignored it. So I did a core day on the leg day that I had on Tuesday where the videos didn't work, so you didn't get to see it. I got to train some abs. We're going to train some abs again today. That's the days I do abs, is day 2 and day 4. When I actually do them, which I can tell you right now, I'm going to be doing them because, God, even that, I just feel soft. And while I do not have a bodybuilder's physique, and I do not have the beach body to have an amazing six-pack, I do need to have high tensile strength. My core is built to stabilize. My core is built to hold and maintain. And when you don't train that and it cannot perform that, well, then all of my numbers go down. Because like I said before, if all of your little parts are strong, then your big parts will be too. And for me, one of the little parts that I have consistently ignored and done poorly on is my core. And so you guys get to kind of see that come to life now that I've started this series. You get to see where I start. You get to see the amount of work I put into my abs and how we're going to get them stronger that way. And then you'll see all my lifts improve pretty rapidly because the core strength was there. It isn't now, but it will come back quickly. So I'm excited for you guys to be able to see that you can know that when you go to the gym, and maybe you're feeling lazy like I was, or you just forget, or you don't want to, any kind of reason whatsoever. You take some time off. Once you go, okay, shit, this is starting to really affect me, you go back into it, and you realize it comes back quicker than you expected. That's pretty nice. That's what we want. Actually, what we want is to not skip things. I need to work on that a lot. Need to work on that quite a bit. But that's what we're here for. That's what these videos will probably help me with too, is accountability. Because I'm telling everyone to work out with me to get better. And on days that I'm tired, I guess I just won't be able to, because I'm going to want you to improve as well. And if I skip something, you'll skip something. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. Not feeling any heavy strains in my hamstrings and glutes, which a long time ago I would have. We are officially in PR territory. If I hit this, it's a PR. Depending on how smooth it goes, I may only jump 20 pounds. I may jump the 40 and say, no, today I do internally inside. I want 405. But also have to be realistic and also have to maintain being injury free. I have 2 matches this week, starting with today. And I'm going to need to be able to pick people up and throw them. So I can't get hurt. I can't strain something. So we'll see how this feels, and we'll base my decision off of that. If I feel strong and I want to just go for it, then that's what we'll do. But if it's not there, we may call it here, or we may go up 20 pounds. I'm not going to make a 10-pound jump. If I do this and I say, oh, I could probably do 10 more pounds, I'm not doing it. We'll move on. That's all right. It's no big deal. But if I feel like a 20-pound jump is there, or I feel like a 30-pound jump is there, I'll add 20. If I feel like 405 is definitely going to be there, we're doing it. Because that's the number I came to do. That's the number I wanted to hit really bad in my head. It's always been a goal of mine to do a 405 good morning. So we'll see. A little bit longer rest here, and then we'll give this 365 a shot. But I will say, based on how that 315 felt, I don't know if 405 is in the cards. But we're going to attack it like it is, because we can be realistic. You can have a realistic mindset and know what you are and are not capable of, while simultaneously having that aggressive mindset in the gym to say, no, I am that guy. I can hit that weight. You just have to find the right balance. And again, it's all based on injury prevention. All right, here we go. Yep, that, I think 405 is going to happen today. I will say that the descent is scary for me mentally. I was actually in my head going, oh no, I'm not going to hit the depth I want, or oh no, I'm not going to be able to come back up. And then immediately upon the descent, I realized that I made a very rookie mistake, and my stops are set extremely low, so that if I do collapse, well, I've just increased the risk of injury, or worse, equipment damage. Because, damage equipment and live, the gym's going to make you pay for it. So, definitely going to load up 405 for sure. But also going to raise the stops up. I think that is high enough to keep it safe without getting in the way of the rep. All right. 4 minutes rest here of me just rambling on. Excited. Very excited. It's not very often I get to go heavy to hit a PR, which I just did. But it's not very often that I get to come in, set a goal, especially now that I'm not competing anymore. I don't really set up a ton of 1 rep max opportunities where I 100% believe that this 405 is going to be, I'm going to go 2 down, I think, is going to be an absolute max. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about that. To hit this, like I said, has been a goal for a very long time, and very exciting, very exciting. I'm gonna bring out the mouthpiece for this one. Be able to bite down and still breathe. Again, really good for stabilization, really good for just everything you want to do. Because if something were to go wrong, I can bite down on this. Everything, just, you talk about if you do your research on mouthpieces, it's already been proven that everything increases when you're able to lock in on your jaw. Balance, stability, strength, certain level of percentages on all of it goes up. And gonna pull out all the stops for this, except for, I don't know, maybe knee sleeves would help a little bit, but no, not gonna worry about that. Just need to go ahead and hit the number best I can. And then we'll move on to the Woolham Rows. A little bit of nerves here. This is exciting. Like I said, it's not very often I get to go heavy. I know it's not a main lift that everyone likes to hit and do, but like I said, every day is an opportunity to get stronger, and what I get to do today is special, and it's to show that I put the work in and I got stronger. I already proved it with the 365 PR, and now we're going to prove it with a 405 PR, and that's going to be a big deal. And then again, we're not going to do these for a really long time, because there's no point, because the weight's going up without training, because I'm making the movement harder with less weight, which is my philosophy in training. Get out of your head. Okay, good deal. Good day. Good day. For sure. That's really, makes me really happy. Take the mouthpiece out so you guys understand me. You can tell with me, I think on the last two lifts especially, pausing ever so slightly on the lifts at the bottom. The descent feels horrible. And I'm going to go ahead and say that's because I've neglected to do these with the descent included. I've always done the concentric portion. I always start at the bottom, I hold, and then go up from there. And the way I just hit that 365 and that 405, I think definitely reflects that training method. And perhaps when I do go to train this again, I might give it a week or two of lightweight just to get the movement again, because like you guys saw my whole warm-up. There wasn't a warm-up. And that could maybe reflect on me being able to go down a little smoother. I don't know what it looked like. I'll have to watch it back. But the way it felt was pretty scary. Pretty scary stuff. How you doing?
What's your name, man?
Bruss.
Russ?
Yeah.
I've been referred to you as Bear.
Oh, yeah? Appreciate it, man. Nice to meet you, Ray.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I can't remember your name.
Yeah, no, good.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right. Now I want to get a side shot here of the Woolham Rows. Oh boy, that took 25 minutes. And that is a part of maxing out. Longer rest times if you want to make that number happen, right? So I'm not going to speed through this. It's not going to speed through these. The rep range is going to be 6 to 8. Just going to definitely gonna might be in here a little longer than an hour. Not going to need this yet. We'll just leave it on unclasped. All right, here we go. So you'll notice on these rows, it's hips back and forth as I'm rowing up. And that's why I like this variation the most as a deadlift accessory. I think it's super important. Just like the good morning, we're kind of hitting the same area, just a little bit lighter and a little bit of a different angle. With the weight distributed differently, right? One being on top of the back, the other one being in your hands. So I find with this movement that especially if you can get the barbell down right before the floor at that 9-inch mark, almost that 9-inch mark is when a barbell sits. The bar is at 9 inches. If you can do that from your row, then you are training the bottom portion of a deadlift with reps and maintaining full tension on that muscle group the whole time as you're rowing in. So again, it's not that much for the back as much as it is for deadlift accessory. But you're still going to get some good back training in, and that'll be on press day 1. I'll end up changing. We did the 185 just bent over barbell, like with a high angle. We're at a pretty high angle here again today. So we'll probably put Pendlay rows on my press day 1. And then these on today. And I think that'll be the best way to go about it. From now on, it's always learning, always changing. You know, that's how I felt that day. I wanted to do those high angle rows and then Pendlay rows today. And then I'm hitting the good morning. I said, why would I do Pendlay rows today? If I did them, I should have did them yesterday during bench. Because Pendlay rows are very good at that broad base for the horizontal press. Or if I'm rowing a sandbag or a human in the ring, that's what Pendlay rows are really going to help with. But today is all about deadlift concentration, posterior chain training. And so here we are. I will say, one drawback to this gym is no chalk. And I don't believe it's allowed. So I may have to go and get my straps before I move up much higher. Because while my grip is okay, it's definitely not as strong as what I can row. Oh, and that's right. We have to do grip today too. That's why it's day 4. It's kind of like hit what you can, target your main area, which is the good morning, these rows and the leg press. And then that's when we can go to pull-ups, grip, biceps, abs, and be done. Because we're already at 30 minutes and we're only 2 movements in. So, you know, gotta be smart about it. Do it the right way. Attack, attack, attack. Say that 225 was my first set. I'm gonna save my grip because I need these sets. I need these sets to go well. And because we're gonna train them anyway, I don't need my grip tired right now. One more set at 275, and we'll call it. Based on how it felt, I could go heavier. I do believe a 315 is there today, but this is again the why moment. What's your why for increasing the weight? I just hit a huge BR in a 405 good morning. I have 2 matches this weekend with a lot of card time. Do I need to completely wear myself out on this? Or can I just hit this weight again? Maybe add a couple reps if I'm feeling froggy, because this will be my last set. And move on. Because I could add more weight. But that could be frying my CNS a little more to where I'm going to lose performance later. So it's about that work, gym balance. I am not a strength competitor anymore. Old me put the weight on 315 today because I'm going to grind those reps out because I don't have any in-ring stuff to do. And my job as a CNA or handling cattle, it's a lot of walking, it's a lot of on your feet, not a lot of physical strain for me, moving people, because they're not that heavy for me. So I would take the risk. But now I'm an in-ring performer. Now what's important is making sure that it's there when I need it for the people who pay a lot of money to see it. So you're gonna leave the weight here, eat a big old slice of humble pie, live to fight another day. And then we'll move on to leg press again with that quad concentration. I have always had genetically just pretty big quads, and I don't front squat very much. I am a 500 pound plus front squatter. I am almost a 500 pound Zercher squatter. I am somebody that has strength in the quads already. So I don't really do a lot of quad focus things, isolation. I definitely don't do leg extensions very often. And I let most of it happen on the leg press because you can put your feet in all kinds of different positions on the leg press and you can get a lot out of your quads in the leg press. And strong quads really help you on the deadlift, on the floor, from the floor, that initial drive into the earth. That's quads. And then you get that shift back to the hips, and you're up. But that first like set and lock, when you drop your hips back and push your knees into the bar, you're loading the quads too, just for that short bit. But the stronger that area is, the more powerful you're going to be off the ground. And that's very important on the deadlift, because all you got to do is get that bar moving. And if you can get it moving really, really fast at the bottom, then by the time it slows down at the knees, maybe you have enough momentum to break through that plateau. All right, here we go. Excuse me. Sometimes the mouthpiece will make you gag a little bit, but we'll live. All right, and that's it. La-ti-da. So, looking at the timer there, 6 minutes. It took me 6 minutes to set up, right? Warm up set, get my 3 sets executed, and move on. And that's what we want. On a day, maybe that I have more time, and then maybe I go a little heavier, and I take a little more time. But as I said before, and I will say many times again, these workouts are designed for the time-starved individual, designed for the person who is just doing everything they can to fit the gym into their already busy schedule. And anyone can do it. So it's a simple enough workout that anyone, beginner, intermediate to advanced lifter, could do. And also, you get stronger. So if you're a bodybuilder and you're in the off season and you're like, man, I'm getting a lot of detail work in, but I don't feel like I'm getting a ton of weight added to my lifts. Well, then probably need to get stronger, and this program's for you. So with leg press, I just kind of, because it takes my core out of it, because obviously you're sitting down, I start at the plates I want. And I think the last time I did this, I was at 6 plates. So today I'm going to put 7 plates. And that'll be the weight I hold for the whole day. Which, in this gym, as I've said before, Nobody ever puts their weights away. So this is a good opportunity for me to help out and clean up the gym and get the weights off the equipment onto my equipment, and then when I'm done, put it up on the rack. So we come in, we lift, we make the gym a better place, a cleaner place. We get a microphone for our videos so we don't have to sit here and shout and interrupt other people's workouts, though most people wear headphones. It's a win-win for all, I'd say. I am definitely somebody that I don't wear headphones when I lift. Well, that's not true. I do wear headphones when I lift. I just don't have anything playing because they're noise canceling headphones, and it makes people think I'm listening to something. So they don't, come up and talk to me in the middle of a workout, which I haven't said it yet, but which I don't have a problem with talking to people. It's actually the exact opposite. As you can tell by how much I ramble in these hour-long videos. I fucking love talking. I love talking. I'll talk all day about this stuff. And if somebody comes up to me and it shows actual interest in what I'm doing and why, I will lose focus on my workout because I'll be so excited to share. And that's a problem. So a lot of times I have big headphones on, not listening to anything. It's just so I can focus on my workout. When I take the headphones off, come and talk to me. But I'm not really a big music guy in the gym or anything else because I just like to focus on my work. I like to hear the weight, the plates clang. I like to hear the machines move. I like to hear other people trying, the grunts, the breathing, the effort, that gym environment. I like all of that. And that's my music. That's what drives me. That's what keeps me motivated. That we're all in here trying to be the best version of ourselves. Okay, so you will see me put my hands on my knees. So first of all, my feet are going to go here. I keep a relatively narrow, like a really narrow stance and low. And that's because it overloads right where I want it. So again, big weight, big movement, isolating a single body part. And I'll probably, especially for the first few, I keep my hands here so that when I go down, my hands are on my knees. I'm not pushing against, I'm not assisting. It's a mental thing. I've had a few knee injuries, and I do the same thing mentally on squats. I'm terrified of re-injuring the knee. It's a real fear. It's a real possibility. But at the same time, not likely anymore. My knees are healthy again and good to go. And I'm more likely to injure them in the ring than I am in here. But I still, just for comfort, my hands will probably be up. So again, keeping it close. About here, I like to think toes slightly pointed outward, heels in line with the hips. And so hands are going to go here, and here we go. And that's about the depth. Get to that max load there, and then lock out. Because right now the tension's not where I want it. And if I go too far back, the tension's not where I want it. So it's right here. And notice I don't fully extend. I stay here, keeping that spot under tension. So here to here. So this is a 3-set, almost AMRAP. I want to say AMRAP, but I always leave a couple in the tank. So I believe that was 12 or 13. Next set, we're going to be a little bit warmer here. We're going to be a little bit more comfortable. So I want to be able to get more. Third set, I should basically be dead, but I need to still get double digits, at least 10. So the goal for the second set is going to be 15 or more. And then the goal for the third set is 10 or more. That first set is more of like a trial run, like, okay, make sure the knees feel healthy, make sure everything feels good. Because again, I just walked in, I put 7 plates on it, and I said, go. I need everything to perform. And so I take that first one very slowly, lock it out, hold. Okay, do I feel anything? Is anything wrong? No? Good. Let's start. And that tells me that my knees will be, ready to go in the ring. All of that. Luckily, this weekend, I think my heaviest opponent is going to be like 215, 210. I don't have anything to worry about. That's just not very heavy. So I don't think I have much risk to injury. It doesn't mean I won't do everything safely and execute with caution. It just means that I'm not picking up any big boys this weekend, which is fine by me. I'll tell you that much. And if they're huge anyway, just because I have a professional strongman background, it doesn't mean I'm gonna pick up a 350-pound guy in the middle of my match. Because what's that doing for anybody except for making him look weak? And I'm not there to make him look bad. I'm there to make us both look good. So if I do pick him up, it's because I'm going over. And it's probably the very last thing I do. And it's a story we tease throughout the whole match. I keep trying, and something goes wrong, and maybe I get him, and then he cheats, and then I finally get him spontaneously is what I would like to do at the end. It would be a big, fast pop, bang, simple slam, and that's it. Keeping that guy safe, telling the right story to get the crowd to really want me to pick him up, and then I finally do. You go home, and the biggest move I did, scoop slam, power slam, body slam. That's the biggest move. And you get the crowd. That's pro wrestling. Oh, I hope that was 15. I really feel like that was 15. I think when I get to 8 plates, we might have to lower the reps and increase the set number. Because that was pretty hard. But attack with intensity. Attack with intensity. That's how you get it done. And that was a pretty intense set. Then we'll move to our pull-ups now that I've rested my back from those rows. And that'll be our first bicep exercise. Probably go to a lat pull down after that. That'll be our second / bicep exercise. And then we'll do some grip training, supersetted with some abs. And that's where we'll call it. Maybe do some dumbbell curls to finish, just to do a strictly bicep movement. But as I've said before, I absolutely hate training biceps. It's so boring. I don't want to do it. I don't care about having big biceps, but that's wrestling, right? Need to do something to make my arms bigger. If I ever want to see a 20-inch arm, I'm going to have to do something with biceps, because my triceps are really the only reason why I'm over 19 anyway. All right, try for 10. Now we put our weight up and start the pull-ups. So the pull-ups we're going to do with an underhand close grip. Sets of 3. Every 30 seconds. And the goal will be 15 to 21 total reps. $15 to $21 total reps. That'll be the goal. And once that's done, we'll move on. No big deal. I have to check the clock. So I am running short on time. We may have to make some adjustments. Lock that in. There we go. So that'll be right there where we're going to do it at. Let's see how much time we've got in here. 53 minutes. We got our main movements done. So now that means the rest. You gotta get right at it. Stare at the clock. It was 53:30 when I was done. So 54. I'm doing that as another set of 3. Yeah. And then probably gonna have to skip the grip today. I just don't have the time. What I typically do is I'll grab my cone hold. It's for the bar. Just bend down to grab it in the center of one hand. And you stand up and you hold it just like this. I am very partial to moving up with 10 to 12 second holds and then moving on. Moving on to sets of 3 to 5 second holds. And then I'll switch the weight. Last weight I do, I switch over to a double overhand finger curl. Keep the bar, the tips of my fingers, curl it up.